My, what's this I see? Is that a reindeer? Is that a sleigh? Could that be Santa Claus coming his way? Oh boy, that would be nice. That's right. All of your favorite holiday classics, old and new, are set to be reviewed and to entertain in this holiday special. The Jolly Elf is coming to your house for an Agent Mike's movie TV show Reviewers Christmas Cavalcade. Fire's lit, the model train is chugging along, candles too. And my holiday tree is up for all of you to view. Now it may look like some other trees you've seen this season, but this one is here for a very special reason. For inside the winkle and twinkle, everyone I think you'll discover your favorite holiday movies and TV specials, and some episodes from your favorite TV shows. Gather together for this holiday tradition. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, dressed up as a jolly elf, a Santa's helper, who's none other than Agent Mike. Ta-da! Of course, I am known as the Happy Elf. I love to spread Christmas cheer for every girl and boy worldwide. I love to work at Santa's workshop and helping Santa Claus to achieve his Christmas delivery. And I'm singing about my favorite song on this holiday special. The Happy Elf, I'm the Happy Elf, I'm the Happy Elf and I just might stop on by. The Happy Elf, I'm the Happy Elf, I'm the Happy Elf and I just might stop on by, yeah. What's up everybody? Agent Mike here and welcome to Agent Mike's movie TV show Reviewers Christmas Cavalcade. AKA the Happy Elf. Hey, I'm over here. No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I was just only playing with you. You may be wondering why I'm here. I'm Santa's helper, of course. And what I'm here for, to talk about your favorite movies and TV specials to review. And now, without any further ado, let's get started with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Donner's wife gives birth to a baby fawn named Rudolph, and they were shocked when they see Rudolph's red nose blinking. A year later, Rudolph joins in the reindeer games, but has to hide the red nose with dirt. Rudolph meets with Fireball and his love interest, Clarice. Even though Clarice don't care of Rudolph, she loves him no matter what. What cute little elves are there? They love to sing "We Are Santa's Elves." Once Rudolph is not allowed to join in any reindeer games, he befriends with Hermie the Misfit Elf, and they set out on a journey together. They met with Yukon Cornelius, who looks for silver and gold, and they are off to the island of misfit toys, avoiding the abominable Snowman. Once they arrive, they greet the misfit toys, and they met a king of misfit toys, allowing them to return to Christmas Town to alert Santa to deliver those misfit toys to everyone around the world. King Moonracer lets them stay for one night, and they understood the misfit toys will find a good home. Once they got back, the abominable Snowman kidnaps Rudolph's parents and Clarice, and then Rudolph rescues them with his red blinking nose. Then Yukon Cornelius sends the abominable Snowman down, and Hermie removes the abominable Snowman's teeth with his dentistry skills. When they arrive back, they reconcile with each other, and Santa offers Rudolph to guide his sleigh tonight. Then all the elves cheer, and they give the presents to Santa's bag. Then Santa is off to the island of misfit toys and delivers the toys around the world. What I like about this holiday special is the classic Rankin style stop-motion animation. Yes, this animated TV special is still popular for more than 50 years. The songs in this animated TV special is definitely a classic, and you'll always treasure it over and over again. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I grade this holiday special a perfect 10! This is a must-see for all ages. And that takes care of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, let's review Frosty the Snowman next. Okay, it all started where a magician named Professor Hinkle is hired to perform for the students but fails to entertain them. So they go outside and they build a snowman, who they name him Frosty. And then they got the top hat, which is made of magic, from Professor Hinkle. And as Karen puts the hat on Frosty's head, he came to life, and he always says,
Happy birthday!
Whoa, 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 whoa! Happy birthday? It's not even Frosty's birthday yet. He always says it whenever the hat was put on, because there must have been some magic in this old silk hat he found. As he placed it on his head, it began to dance around, to the kids' amazement. Actually, it was the day of Frosty's birth. The children were so happy that they play with Frosty, and they gleefully parade through town. Of course, the temperature is rising, so the kids help Frosty and Karen to go north by the train to keep Frosty cooler, or else if he stays long, he'll melt. So Frosty and Karen boarded the train at the refrigerated boxcar, while Professor Hinkle was unaware that Frosty had his magic hat, and that he wants it back. Hocus goes with them, too. Once they arrive, Frosty takes Karen to the fire so that she can be warm enough to survive. Hocus the rabbit enlists the help of Santa Claus to take Karen home from this cold weather up north. Hocus leaves to search for Santa, while Frosty decides to take Karen to a greenhouse for warmth. Look at that Frosty doing the belly flop, just before Professor Hinkle tries to stop them. Frosty carries Karen inside where she would be warm and safe. However, Professor Hinkle locks the greenhouse as Frosty is melting inside. as Hocus arrives with Santa to take Karen home and he unlocks the greenhouse, Karen was sad over a puddle of water that used to be with Frosty. Aww, Karen is just sad because she really missed her friend Frosty. As Santa comforts Karen, Santa tells her that Frosty was made of Christmas snow and can never melt away. So Santa opens the door and a cold, strong gale blows through the greenhouse, and then Frosty was back once again. Santa reminds Professor Hinkle that he'll never deliver another present to Hinkle in all of his life if the magician dares to harm Frosty in any way. Of course, Hinkle writes 100 zillion times proving that to never hurt the snowman again. So Santa puts the hat on Frosty and he came to life once again. Karen was so happy, and then Karen arrives home safely with Santa. Of course, what I like about this holiday special is Karen, who loves Frosty so much. And of course, I really love this Wreckin' Bass animation style. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this holiday special a perfect 10. Once again, this is a must-see for all ages. And that's great for Frosty the Snowman. Here comes the next classic, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Here it is. Okay, it all started in Sommertown, where a mean mayor, Burgermeister Meisterburger, tries to take care of a baby named Claus, but he turns it down and asks the guard to take him to the orphan asylum. Then the sleigh with baby Claus was blown away through the mountain of the whispering winds to the other side. The animals delivered the baby to the Elves, where the Kringles adopted the baby and named him Kris Kringle. Kris Kringle is an old Santa name, don't you think? Years went by, Kris Kringle learns that the first toy maker to the king was years ago by the Kringles. Now that he's a man, he's able to deliver toys to Sombertown, meeting with his new friend, the penguin named Topper. On the other side of the mountain, Burgermeister added a new law that toys are strictly prohibited in Sombertown. Chris met with Jessica and delivered the toys to the children of Sombertown just before Burgermeister stops them. Of course, Chris does a great job in climbing and jumping and sliding like the animals have taught him. When Chris is heading home, he meets with Winter Warlock, and Chris gives him the train to Warlock, and he became Winter Warlock, the good-hearted guy. Where they learn to put one foot in front of the other and they'll be walking out the door. Then Chris later met with Jessica, and then Burgermeister confiscates all the toys. He tries going down the chimney and going through like magic, but everything is stopped and they got arrested. Then Jessica learns that her world is beginning today. Wow. Jessica really saw her own world that was beginning today. Later, Jessica helps them escape with reindeer flying and away from Sombertown and into the other part next to the North Pole. As Chris has gone older, he finally uses his real name, Claus. Then Claus asks Jessica to be married, and they had a wedding on Christmas, and they are on their way to the North Pole as they build a castle and a workshop so that they can continue making toys for the children. Now that Burgermeister's laws have been abolished, Santa decides to deliver toys to the children once a year on Christmas Eve, the night of profound love. Of course, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I really love the stop-motion animation to what Wreckin' Bass could do. And of course, while Frosty the Snowman is animated, this one is one of my all-time favorites, and I like it a lot. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Once again, I grade this a 10. It's a must-see. Now that Santa Claus is coming to town is done, with my Elf's magic, I'm going to show you this 1965 classic, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Okay, in A Charlie Brown Christmas, Charlie Brown gets depressed despite all the presents, cards, and tree decorating due to over-commercialism of Christmas. Charlie Brown visits Lucy in her psychiatric booth, and of course Charlie Brown needs more involvement to direct a Christmas play. On his way to the auditorium, Charlie Brown stops by Snoopy's doghouse as Snoopy is decorating the house for a display contest. Then Charlie Brown wrote a letter to Santa Claus for Sally, resulting in a large sum of money of 10s and 20s. Ugh. Once Charlie Brown arrives at the rehearsals, he is unable to control the situation as they are interested in modernizing the play with dancing and lively music. And of course, the play requires the proper mood. Charlie Brown decides they need a Christmas tree, so that Linus and Charlie Brown goes to the trees and they found a small baby tree, which ironically as well as symbolically is the only real tree on the lot. Of course, everybody laughs at Charlie Brown as Linus explained what Christmas is all about through the second chapter of the Gospel of Luke, verses 8 through 14. Then Charlie Brown picks up the tree and goes to Snoopy's doghouse. He tries to put the ornamental ball on it, but the tree topples over. Then Linus fixes the tree, and they add the remaining decorations from Snoopy's doghouse to make the Christmas tree. Then it is complete, and they wish Charlie Brown a Merry Christmas, and he joins in. Of course, this is one of my all-time favorite holiday specials when I loved to watch that when I was a kid. That was on CBS and now ABC. Of course, it's beautifully Charlie Brown animation comic styling. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this holiday special a 9.5. This, once again, is a must-see for all ages. Now that's done. Now some of you have ever heard the story of Twas the Night Before Christmas. Well, of course some of you know this 1974 classic from Rankin. It's called Twas the Night Before Christmas. With my elfin magic abracadabra, I'm gonna show you now, Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house.
In Twas the Night Before Christmas, set in a fictional town of Junctionville, New York, in the turn of the 19th to the 20th century, Santa Claus is offended by the anonymous letter printed in the town's newspaper and signed All of Us, claiming that he doesn't exist. Of course, the letters from Junctionville return to them unopened. Father Mouse is the assistant to Joshua Trundle and suspects that his brainy son Albert is the author. And Albert has to write a letter to Santa Claus apologizing to him. Father Mouse and the Trundle family devise a plan to appease Santa by building a singing clock tower for him, built with a special recording to play a song to coax him not to bypass Junctionville on Christmas Eve. Father Mouse convinces his son Albert to give his heart a try and to see what Christmas and other holidays are all about. On the big day of unveiling a clock, unfortunately, the clock was damaged as Albert enters it without permission, thus making the town hall clock kerblooey and ruins the Trundle's reputation. Of course, it takes miracles that really needs its hand. Confessing his mistake, Albert volunteers to repair it himself, and Father Mouse tells Joshua of the situation before waiting at his bed with worry on Christmas Eve. Albert completes his task until midnight, and the clock does play its song with an earshot of Santa, which convinces him to turn around and come to town after all. Towards the end of this special, it does have a complete poem of the night before Christmas. And this poem, which will come later in this holiday special. Of course, in my opinion, that this special is great for learning about the night before Christmas, and its animation by Rankin, like Frosty the Snowman, it does follow some similarities like Festival of Family Classics, and it does please some greatest holiday fans out there. Give a listen to the clock tower bells. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm grading this holiday special 8.7. If you love 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, enjoy this whenever you can. Try to imagine just for a moment that someone steals presents on Christmas Eve. Well, he is none other than the Grinch himself, who lives north of Whoville. With my Elves magic, I'm going to show you now this 1966 animated classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, one of my all-time favorite holiday specials that I watched when I was a kid. It tells a story about the Grinch who wants to stop Christmas from coming. Yes, the Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. What's the reason for this? All the Whos would love the noise, 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 and they feast, 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 and they love to sing, sing, sing. The animation quality to this was animated by Chuck Jones, and it's fully awesome detail. And the best part I love about the Grinch is singing with the Whos in Whoville. Fa-hoo Forest. Da-hoo Doris, welcome Christmas, come this way. Fa-hoo Forest, da-hoo Doris, welcome, welcome Christmas Day. Oh yes, I also like the Thurl Ravenscroft version of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a...
And the song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch by Thurl Ravenscroft is so popular. As you can see, Grinch races down to Whoville to steal Christmas and climbs up Mount Crumpet to try to dump it. But then the singing of the Whos that makes the Grinch change his ways and understood that maybe Christmas perhaps means a bit more. And then he heads back to Whoville and gives all the presents back and wishes them Merry Christmas to the Whos. Of course, in my opinion, what I like about this holiday special is giving us a supreme demonstration to what Dr. Seuss could do. And this is so popular that aired every holidays. For those of Dr. Seuss and the Grinch lovers out there. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this holiday special a perfect 10. This is a must-see for everyone who loves Dr. Seuss and the Grinch. Now, here's a review of 1977 Disney classic called The Small One. Boy, these still images of The Small One opening titles were so awesome. In The Small One, the setting takes place outside the city of Nazareth, where a young boy and his father own 4 donkeys. The fourth one, called The Small One, is old and weak, but the boy loves him anyway. Every day they collect wood, until one day, the boy's father asked him to sell the small one, to find him a gentle and loving master. The boy then takes the small one to the market in Nazareth. Unfortunately, nobody wants an old donkey but the tanner, and one of them has to kill Small One to make leather out of his hide. Eventually, the boy meets with Joseph and asks the boy to accept the small one because he needs a gentle donkey to carry to his wife in Bethlehem, which is Mary. The boy happily accepts Joseph's offer, and Joseph takes the small one to be with Mary. Of course, what I like about this TV special is soothing and touching. And two of God's friends, Joseph and Mary, they made a perfect couple for the birth of the Christ child. The animation style was excellent, created by former Disney animator Don Bluth. It's like telling a story of how Christ was born. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this TV special an 8. Give yourself a chance to watch this whenever you can. Don't go away, folks. There's more Christmas Cavalcade fun right after this. Here's what's coming up on part 2 of Agent Mike's movie TV show Revewer, Christmas Cavalcade. It's the year without a Santa Claus, not to mention Mickey's Christmas Carol, as well as Jack Frost, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, A Christmas Story, The Santa Claus, not to mention Timothy Tweedle, The First Christmas Elf, The Story of Santa Claus, and the ever-popular Jingle Bells, along with a sing-along, and some more holiday fun as we come down to Earth for quite a while. There's a lot more holiday movies and TV specials to review as Agent Mike's movie TV show Revewer Christmas Cavalcade comes right back.